Our brains function in story. We create storylines for our lives, for every situation, for our relationship, for everything. We create a storyline. That is how we create our reality. We're constantly telling a story about who we are and where we're going. Okay. So if I have a situation that I am just not really loving, that I would just rather be different, I've got to check the story I'm telling about it. Like, quite literally, what is the story you're telling about it? If you have a situation that you feel like is just not working in your favor, you feel like this should be different, you feel like you failed in some way, well, look at that story right away. I'm making up a story that says this should be different. And the reason that it's not different is because I'm failing. And you can trace that probably even deeper. I'm failing because something that happened in your past, in your childhood, whatever. And it means this. We create stories so lightning fast, we don't even realize that we're doing it until we start to really get clear on it and break it down. So you want to look at what is the story that you're telling yourself about the situation that you're in. Just like the wound, just like the trigger, you're probably sitting on the victimized side of it. So now we do it through the same process. Okay, why does that bother you? Here's your story. Why does it bother you? Well, because if that's true, then that means that I can't do the things that I want to do in life. Okay, well, why does that bother you? Well, if I can't do the things that I want to do in life, then I'm not going to be happy. Okay, so why does that bother you? Because I'm supposed to be happy. Oh, you're supposed to be happy. Okay, so then shouldn't you just choose your happy now? Oh my God, I'm literally making up a story that's holding me outside of my own happiness when happiness was always my choice to begin with. I am literally creating a condition and placing it in front of my joy, saying, I can't be happy until I have this. But is that true? Okay, so let's rewrite the story. What if we take I choose my happiness and we put it in front of that outcome that I'm looking for? And we got to the root and we say, oh my gosh, if I am looking for that situation to happen for me to be happy, then couldn't I just choose to be happy as I pursue that situation? And then wouldn't that manifest so much easier? Yeah, it would. So we do the same thing, but you want to check yourself. It could be something that's not that simple, it could be something that's like, you feel victimized and trapped by your situation. You feel like you can't make enough money, or you feel like you're stuck in a partnership, or you can't change your partner because they are who they are. Look at the story that you're making up about it. Look at what you're creating for the storyline that you're stepping into. And then step back from it. Get the root, but step back and ask yourself, how can I tell this story in a different light? How can I perceive this? If this was actually working in my favor, then what would it look like? And just these one little millimeter switches will start to shift your entire reality to a new perspective. So we're always telling a story. We always have the opportunity to change our reality because we have the power to change our perception in the present moment, not in the future, not in the past. In the present moment is where we change and alter everything. So now let's think about if there was something from your past. Maybe there's a reoccurring storyline that you have made up about yourself, your low vibe story. You have a reoccurring story or a reoccurring definition about yourself. You want to look at that from this perspective of you have a story that you created in the past somewhere, and it probably is related to some event that happened in your past. When you are thinking about that past event, you can go back in the present moment in your mind, go back to that past situation and ask your higher guidance, what was happening here that was actually working out in my favor? what part of this was meant to empower me? How can I see that situation differently from the past? Once you're able to do that, what's going to happen is that now that memory is going to lose its charge. Again, we neutralize the charge that it had. When you have this perception shift on a past memory, it neutralizes the charge, it opens up a different perspective, and this is how you change your future by rewriting your past. The moment that you are in the present, in this present moment, in your mind, going back to the past, altering the thought form that you had on it, it neutralizes the energy. And in that moment, it changes your trajectory of where you're going in the future. Does this make sense? This is the magic.